All right. Okay, welcome back. Remember in the upper left-hand corner, if you see a small little slide deck, you can click on that and it'll make it large. Just one way to use Microsoft Teams in order to make it work and stuff. All right. If you're joining us and you haven't raised your hand, please raise your hand so I know everybody's here. Okay, Alden, you're here. Good. Jeff, are you here yet? Jordan? Jeff's here. Jordan Kalish is still doesn't know how to join us. Don't know what to do about that. If any of you want to talk to Kalish and try to help her get back in, I'd appreciate that. But meanwhile, do that separately, not on this channel, but you can do one separately. All right, let's get started. You can go ahead and lower your hands. I really appreciate the help there. What I want to do is talk about mission analysis, why the system is being built. You already got this in 661. I'm just going to hit it again, mainly because if you remember, we do a verification and validation. And you can't do verification validation unless you actually understand what it is that you're trying to build. So that is an important aspect to this. So first of all, what is the system? We're going to go ahead and discuss about that, the concept. What is the point of view when you look at a system? Describe the mission for designers and builders via the thing called econops. And we also are going to talk about this thing called measures of effectiveness, which actually explains how the system will do what you expect it to do and how you will measure that. And that will actually be our exercise today. So first of all, if you look at defining the concept, the System Engineering Handbook, which is based on the international standard ISO 15288, they actually talk about systems being these man-made, created, utilized to perform products or services in a defined environment for the benefits of users and other stakeholders. In other words, it's a purposeful whole that consists of interacting parts. So that's kind of what we'll be talking about when we talk about systems. But with that, even though it's talking about parts, there's other aspects or concepts about systems that you need to kind of understand. One is the operating environment. What is the context that your system should be working? In other words, what's the external view of the system? Now, what's important about that is when it comes to your MOEs or your measures of effectiveness is to actually think about what does the system look like from an external standpoint so that you can actually be able to measure it. So that's one of the aspects of it. So part of that is understanding your system boundary. Where exactly is that line of demarcation where the system itself in the greater context? Where is that? And that's an important aspect of understanding your system as well. Also, functionality. I know we talked over here about man-made parts. They're actual, you can divide things up, set of elements and all. But right here, it provides services for you. So your functionality is an important aspect of understanding what those parts do. And another aspect is the actual architecture, your fundamental concepts or properties of a system in its environment embodied in the elements, relationships, or principles that you'll use in the design and evolution or construction of your system. So basically, you want to think about your system not just as a system, but also what's your point of view of the system? What is your stakeholder and how do they look at it? Remember, your system in 15288 actually talks about how the system is there to benefit the users and other stakeholders as you're doing this. The biggest challenge, of course, is identifying who those stakeholders are. Sure, it's easy to say, well, it's the person who uses it, right? Well, what about regulatory agencies that are worried about your system poisoning the environment or people? So they may have an interest in your system. Or what about the actual enabling systems you need to make your system work in the greater whole? So those are stakeholders that you need to worry about, as well as stakeholders that may be opposing your system. They may actually not be interested in getting your system to succeed. That is another stakeholder that you have to take into account. So identifying your stakeholders is an important aspect of trying to work this. Not only the system itself, but other systems it interacts with, the enabling systems, the production systems, even society as a whole may be affected. So your system consists, in 15280, it talks about provide services in a defined environment. In other words, what's your context? And that's where your concept of operations or your operational concept, opcons, they're used interchangeably, but the whole idea is to try to understand why and how your system will be used within that greater context. So you're going from the enterprise, where you have your concept of operation, to your business or mission level. That's where you get your OpsCon down to your business level. That's where you actually think about your life cycle concepts, to your system, down to your actual system element itself. So that transformation of getting needs into the various requirements and where those requirements land on these actual levels of your understanding of your system is an important aspect of system engineers and what they do. So a concept of operation serves as a way to understand the characteristics of the system when it comes to the actual mission. The operational concepts, or OpCon, is a user-oriented, how do you actually use the system within its environment. So I actually like using the word ConOps a lot, and I normally mean it in the terms of OpsCon, but ConOps is this kind of black box, how do you use the system? So that's kind of the way we're kind of using concept of operations to kind of understand your mission as you're trying to work it, as opposed to your operation concepts. How do the stakeholders look at your system? So I'm going to just pause here for a second. That was a lot of information I threw at you, but I'm going to go ahead and get you guys ready for your next exercise, and then I'm going to give you a lot of time for that. But are there any questions so far in terms of what I talked about? We'll talk about mission. All right. We had Jordan come on real quick.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
So will we be learning how to build ConOps, like documents or ConOps in general?
Yeah. No, not really. A portion of it. You're not going to do an entire ConOps, I don't believe. Yeah. Let me get into the pieces I want you to kind of understand as we go into this. And mainly it's about the requirements. The ConOps is an important aspect. Actually, for your example here, I'm going to show you kind of a ConOps thing.
Okay.
For your enterprise. So just hang on for a second. We'll get a little bit more in. All right. Let's go into what brainstorming is, because I do want you guys to talk together and to try to really work cohesively as a team, especially for the fact that you have to do teamwork in order to get the CDR and the TRR up. I really, is discouraging to me when people have, I know you're young, but you guys have bitterness or not listening to each other. Try to work together and try to do your part to be part of this. Don't let everybody else do their work and you just ride their coattails. That's not the way system engineering works. You have to do your part. Another aspect of that is brainstorming. And that's where there are no dumb ideas. You don't criticize other people's ideas. You listen to them and then try to build on them. That's an important aspect of trying to work at. So really brainstorming, you really want more quantity than quality, because usually through the more creative ideas you have, normally the good ones will bubble to the top as you're doing that. All right, with that in mind, let's go ahead and write a mission statement for an assigned vehicle I'm going to give you guys. So team one, I'm going to have you guys be commuters where you're actually going to work together. So that's kind of your we're going to work together. Your midlife man will be at a crisis and he wants a car to kind of shore up his identity. And that's team two. Team three will be a family that's just trying to get around. And team four will be a college student. You're just trying to get to class. Now, your mission statement will just be a quick understanding what it is. And that'll be kind of mission statement will be a 1 or 2 sentence concept that kind of explains how you feel this vehicle will help your or do the mission or situation for your stakeholder. So go ahead and get into each of your teams and pull up the actual PowerPoint. Start typing in what your mission statement is, and probably what I'll do is I'll start calling on you, and I'll pull that up, and you guys just can talk to it since it's only one page. That way we don't have to keep sharing and having you guys share. I can start doing that. So what I want you to do now is go into your various channel. Don't do it in here. Do it in your channel. Go ahead and start joining a meeting and discussing that. But go to your files, and lo and behold, you'll see the first one. Open it up using Edit in Teams and just fill out the second page. That's all I want you to do. All right. So the second page, go ahead, say what you are, stakeholder. I'm a commuter. This is my mission statement. Okay. So brainstorm together. Try to pull that together. Shouldn't take you long. I'm going to give you about 15 minutes. When you're done, go ahead and close out or hang up from your meeting here. If you notice, 2 people are already on hold for the meeting they had previously. But if you hang up from this one, you'll be able to rejoin mine. So you should be able to go and on hold on mine. All right, we'll see you at 6:40. We'll get back together, okay? So we'll see you then. If you have any questions, I'll hang here if you're not sure what to do and stuff. You should be pretty good at this. And team one, I hope you can get everybody can get together. It'll be great. Okay. I'll jump in every now and then, see what you guys are doing. See you soon. All right, guys, it's good to have some of you you're here now, but there are other teams that are trying to finish up. So we'll just hold for a while until they're ready. Okay.